Carlo Ancelotti was never the loudest man on the pitch, but his presence was unmistakable. Born in Reggiolo, a quiet town in northern Italy, in 1959, his path to footballing greatness began as a cultured midfielder. Under the tutelage of the legendary Arrigo Sacchi at AC Milan, Ancelotti learned football as a system of movement, geometry, and precise execution. He absorbed Sacchi's obsession with pressing, space, and structure, lessons that would later influence his own managerial style. Injuries truncated his playing days, but Carlo had always been a thinker. Retirement in 1992 wasn't an end, it was the start of something greater. Ancelotti didn't rush into head coaching. He knew better than to dive into deep waters unprepared. Instead, he reunited with Sacchi, now Italy's national coach, serving as his assistant. For Carlo, it was like returning to a university, only this time as a research assistant. From 1992 to 1995, Ancelotti studied the game from a new perspective. He saw the psychological side of coaching, the preparation, and the tactical flexibility needed at the highest level. Italy's run to the 1994 World Cup final gave him a taste of big tournament pressure. Though they lost on penalties to Brazil, Ancelotti had seen the mountain's peak. Now he wanted to climb it himself. His first solo job came in 1995 with Reggiolo, a Serie B club desperate for promotion. Carlo brought organization and calm. With modest resources and a pragmatic 4-4-2, he guided them to promotion in his first season, a signal that the Ancelotti era had begun. Next came Parma, a club buzzing with talent and ambition. Carlo inherited stars like Gianluigi Buffon and Fabio Cannavaro and added a young Hernan Crespo. He finished second in Serie A in 1996-97, a remarkable feat for a small club. But in his second season, things soured. His stubbornness with the 4-4-2 clashed with the flair of players like Gianfranco Zola, whom he excluded due to tactical rigidity. Parma finished sixth. Carlo learned a vital lesson. Tactics must fit players, not the other way around. Juventus called in 1999. It was the big time, but the timing wasn't right. Carlo replaced Marcello Lippi mid-season and faced skepticism. He was seen as too conservative, lacking the fire Juve fans adored. He had a strong squad, Del Piero, Zidane, Inzaghi, but couldn't land silverware. Twice he came close to the Scudetto, and twice he lost it on the final day. The press mocked him as a chicken-hearted coach. It stung. But Carlo didn't let bitterness consume him. He left in 2001 with dignity, knowing he'd grown. When AC Milan offered him the manager's role in 2001, many questioned the appointment. Milan was struggling, and Carlo's reputation wasn't glowing. But he knew the club, its culture, and expectations. Slowly he reshaped the team with elegance and balance. With Paolo Maldini leading a resolute defense and Andrea Pirlo reimagined as a deep-lying playmaker, Ancelotti's Milan began to dazzle. He shifted to a 4-3-2-1 Christmas tree formation, sturdy, elegant, and perfectly suited to stars like Kaká, Rui Costa, and Shevchenko. In 2003, Milan won the UEFA Champions League, beating Juventus in a tense final. Carlo had done it, European glory at last. 2 years later came the infamous Miracle of Istanbul, when Milan lost the 2005 final to Liverpool after leading 3-0. It was a bitter blow, but Ancelotti's response was quintessentially Carlo, measured, composed, and focused on rebuilding. In 2007, Milan returned to the final and beat Liverpool 2-1. Redemption was complete. In 2009, Ancelotti took on a new challenge, Chelsea, under the ambitious Roman Abramovich. England's Premier League was fast, aggressive, and chaotic. Carlo, calm as ever, brought order to the storm. He blended flair and discipline, giving Drogba and Lampard license to thrive. Chelsea played beautiful football, scoring a record 103 goals on their way to winning the Premier League in 2009-10. They also bagged the FA Cup, completing a historic double. But behind the scenes, tensions simmered. The club's hierarchy was volatile. A trophyless second season saw him sacked in a stadium corridor. Cold, brutal, but Carlo took it with his usual grace. Next stop, Paris. In 2011, Ancelotti joined Paris Saint-Germain as the Qatari era dawned. With big names and bigger budgets, PSG needed a steady hand. Carlo provided it. He led them to their first League One title in 19 years in 2012-13. More importantly, he laid the foundation for the club's future dominance, instilling professionalism and balance in a squad still finding its identity. Though he left after just 18 months, PSG became a European contender because of him. Real Madrid, football's most glamorous stage, welcomed Ancelotti in 2013. The mission: win the long-awaited La Decima, their 10th European Cup. It had become an obsession. With Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, and a rejuvenated Modric, Carlo orchestrated harmony in a team of egos. He trusted his players, treated them as adults, and created a culture of respect. In 2014, Madrid destroyed Bayern in the semi-final and beat Atletico in a dramatic final. Sergio Ramos' 93rd-minute header still haunts rivals. They added the Copa del Rey too. It was one of the finest seasons in club history. But Madrid's board is ruthless. Despite winning 4 trophies in one season and breaking records, a trophyless second campaign led to his dismissal in 2015. Yet his bond with the players remained strong. Many still speak of him with reverence. In 2016, Ancelotti took over Bayern Munich. His mandate was simple: maintain domestic dominance and conquer Europe. He won the Bundesliga in his first season, but friction grew. His relaxed approach clashed with the club's more rigid culture. Veterans felt training was too easy. Results dipped in his second season, and after a poor Champions League start, he was sacked in 2017. It was another harsh exit, but once again he walked away without drama. After Bayern, Ancelotti sought smaller challenges. He joined Napoli in 2018, aiming to bring stability and tactical nuance. He led them to the Champions League knockout stage but was dismissed in 2019 amid boardroom tension. Then came a surprising move: Everton, a traditional English club craving relevance. Ancelotti's arrival in 2019 brought prestige. He stabilized the team, nurtured talents like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and even challenged for top 4 briefly. While silverware eluded him, fans admired his authenticity. He spoke of his love for the city, the club, the people. It wasn't about trophies, it was about soul. In 2021, Real Madrid came calling again. Zidane had departed, and the club needed stability. At 62, Ancelotti returned not as a tactician seeking glory, but as a sage. With fewer Galacticos and more youth, he molded a dynamic, efficient team. Benzema flourished, Vinicius Jr. emerged, and the midfield trio of Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro rolled back the years. In 2022, Ancelotti led Madrid to La Liga and another Champions League title, his 4th as a manager, a record. At full time in the final, he raised an eyebrow, smiled, and said, "I'm just lucky to have good players." The world knew better. He was the glue. Carlo Ancelotti's journey is not about tactical revolutions or fiery speeches. It's about humility, emotional intelligence, and timeless wisdom. He's won in Italy, England, France, Germany, and Spain, the only manager to do so. His style is understated, his demeanor gentlemanly, his success unmatched. In an age of intensity and noise, Ancelotti reminds us that leadership doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes, the calmest voice in the room is the most powerful. The end. Like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting stories.